Good evening, folks. Thanks for joining us. Kicking off game number 4, regular season for this Gorman Junior Varsity. Apologize for having a little bit early today.
All right, folks. Here we go, kicking off game number 4 of the season. Hopefully audio's working a little bit better now. Got the music blaring pretty loud here. One big rickroll. All right, folks. Apologize for not being able to stream earlier. ADHSHL has some contractual commitments with CIH Media, preventing me from streaming. Last game, Gorman walked away with a 3-0 win over Damien. with goals from McCallie, shorthanded goal from Davis, and a goal from Xavier Couchet, out shooting their opponent 34-5. On a related note, Gorman varsity team walking away with a 1-0 win this evening against Fairmont. Goal by Jake Klaus in the third period. Starting out the game, we're rolling with Liam Marsh, 31 at right winger, Colin Davis acting as center, McCauley, 24 left wing. Got Miller and Tyler Martin in at defense. Game kicks off. Tyler Martin regrouping back to Miller. Miller looking to send it up to Davis, not able to connect. Miller walking it up. Send McCauley. McCauley looking, shooting. Off the goalie's pad, sent it back to Miller. Miller, shot. Man of the way. Off the modern day player. McCauley looking for, got pickpocketed. Modern day sends it in, looking to go deep. Miller looking for an opening, banking it over to Davis. Davis chipping it over to McCauley. McCauley sending it to Liam Marsh just behind him, trying to find the right lane. Modern day looking to send it over. Posner regrouping the defensive zone, chipping it back behind his own goal to Jeff Baldy. Baldy sends it up to Cash Creel. Davis still on the ice for some reason. And there we go. Cash Johnson coming in, dangling. Loses it just a little. Sends it deep. Cash Creel going in, looking to keep it low. Creel working around the boards. Sends it back to the defense. Posner looking for a lane. Decides to send it back up. Tritton. And shot in the crease. Not able to land that one. Modern Day working through the neutral zone. Baldy battling in the neutral zone. Modern Day ends up with it. Tritton to Johnson. Cash money line. Having a great weekend. Cash Johnson sends it deep just to the right of the goal. Pretty close. Gorman ends up with a pout. Up. Just got around Evan Davis. Tritton there. Regroup. Sends it to Caden O'Hara. O'Hara to Johnson. Chips it in. Creel. Coach trying to get some of the cash line off the ice. Creel sends it to DC. DC Swanson sends it in from the center. 1-0. Gorman. 12:41 remaining in the third. Couchet, Swanson, and Lars Jennings on the ice, as well as Evan Davis and Caden O'Hara. DC Swanson sends it back to defense. Swanson sends it in. Jennings and Swanson back behind the goal line, trying to get it back to the point. Just outside of Caden O'Hara's reach. Davis and O'Hara sitting to each other, send it deep. Jennings to Xavier Couchet, almost another goal for that line. Back here at KHS Arena, the ice box. Jennings battling for the puck, just out of the reach of Matt Miller. Matt Miller winning his race, takes down the forward from Mater Day. Oh, a little miscommunication, stepping each other's toes. DC Swanson bringing it in, looking for a lane, sends it over to X, shoots it just off the goalie's gloves. Gorman able to keep it in the zone, just over the stick of Matt Miller into the Gorman defensive zone, back behind the goal line. Miller looking for a lane, sends it to DC Swanson. Swanson just robbed, trying to make his move, and we have a hooking penalty. Mater Dei sends a man to the box. Gorman goes on the power play. 11:20 remaining in the first. We had a hooking penalty, number 34 for Mater Dei. Dunnigan, Zvancic, and Schiberta in. Was Posner and I believe Baldy. Yes, Jeff Baldy. Zvancic working along the boards. Slight miscommunication, lose possession there. Able to keep it in the zone. They looking to skate it out instead of clear it. Baldy able to shut that down. Gorman looking to regroup. Schiberta skating it through. He's got Dunny to his right. Sends it to Dunnigan. Dunnigan, shot. Just off the goalie's pad. Sends it back to the point. Posner shot just to the right of the net. And out of the zone. Trying to send it back to the point. Baldy to Posner. Marsh in. McCauley, Davis, and O'Hara coming in for a change. Marsh looking for a lane, looking for somewhere to send it. Marsh skating around the zone. Gorman going for the remainder of their change. Marsh waiting for the good opportunity. Chips it through the, sends it through the crease to Davis. Davis shot, goal. 2-0. Gorman. Be a power play goal. Mater Dei going back to 5 players. So quick swap of the goalie on the Mater Dei side. Same lines on the forward set after the goal. Evan Davis and Caden O'Hara in at defense. Face off, Gorman wins it. Sends it over to O'Hara. O'Hara back to Davis. Davis sends it up to Davis. And a bad reception there on his part. O'Hara looking for a lane. Sends it back. Colin Davis and McCauley. A little too close. Davis dekes around. He's got 2. He's got Liam to his right. He's going to send it to Liam Marsh. Liam Marsh shot off the goalie up in the air. Davis battling. Sends it into the crease. Marsh there. Backhands it off the goalie's pads. And Mater Dei clears it into the neutral zone. Mater Dei in pursuit. Caden O'Hara. Stick getting lifted. Marsha Davis trying to work through the neutral zone, unable to do so. Gorman looking to clear, can't quite do it. All right. Puck out to Davis. Davis sends it to McCauley. McCauley's got Pastritton to his right. McCauley taking it, shot off the goalie's pads. And Tyler Martin pushing up as a forward. Matt Miller shifting over on defense. Cash Creel taking over as the other defenseman. Puck comes out of the Gorman defensive zone. Gorman looking to regroup. Matt Miller looking for a lane. Sends it up just out of the reach of Cash Creel. They're going to wave that off. Player could have gotten it, but didn't. Cash Creel ding around. Drops it back. Cycles over. Martin shot. Goal. Tyler Martin. Number 3 with goal. Number 3 for the game. Money line still on the ice. Looks like they're doing another goalie change on the Mater Dei side. A little bit of back and forth. Goalie says he's good to go, and really a little close to line. Gorman wins the faceoff. Defensive regroup. Cash Tritton has it, brings it into the zone, looking for an opening. Sends it back to Matt Miller. Matt Miller winds up. Shot deflected by Cash Johnson, but not able to get it in. Gorman looking to send it back to the point, but picked off. Mater Dei skating through. Creel there to disrupt. Tyler Martin taking it back in. He's looking for another one. Martin shrugs off the defender. Flings it over. Sauce pass to Miller. Miller shot off the goalie's shoulder and into the glass. Back at the blue line. Tyler Martin's shot hits the player in the shin guard. He's going to be feeling that one tomorrow. Creel battling on the boards. Johnson there to support. Chips it over Miller. Miller shot off another Mater Dei player. Cash Johnson taking his time looking around. Looking a bit like a power play without it being a power play. Another shot. Cash Johnson off the post. Johnson sends it back to Cash Tritton. Tritton sends it back to the point. Tyler Martin rolls out. Sends it over to Cash Tritton. Cash Tritton shot. Hits Mater Dei player in the chest. And Mater Dei is able to clear and go for a change. Creel Martin sends it over to DC, just out of the reach of DC Swanson. Swanson recovers, brings it deep, buying some time for the change. David Crochet. And a zinger from Jeff Baldy. From very deep, sharp angle, just over the shoulder. We are 4-0 in the first period. 6:58 remaining in the first. Gorman wins the face-off. Back to Baldy. Baldy sends it over to Posner. Gorman loses it into the neutral zone. Baldy sending it to Jennings. Jennings chips it in. Working his way, trying to win the battle of the puck. Mater Dei gets there first. Ref falls. Gorman able to keep it in the zone. X chips it back to Jennings. Jennings using his body to cover the puck. Mater Dei flings it out, hoping to clear. Gorman regrouping. Back to Baldy. Baldy to Jennings. Jennings flings it up to Xavier Crochet. Just out of reach. Mater Dei trying to get in, and a really hard hit here. Mars Jennings, and that will be a penalty. Apologize if I didn't move the camera enough. Little bit extra. Always need to be careful on this one. Few too many penalties the last couple of games. As I mentioned earlier, 9 penalties in the Gorman Damien game at 3 o'clock this afternoon. Gorman goes on the penalty kill. Dunnigan in. Mater Dei wins the face-off. Mater Dei shoots really high over the net. James jumping but not able to stop it. Gorman chips it out. Dunnigan trying to beat his man. Dunnigan wins his battle of the puck. Got almost a breakaway. Mater Dei looking to get his own exit. And Frank Sabansky there to shut it down. Looking to dangle. Can't get there. Mater Dei brings it into the zone. Caden O'Hara there. O'Hara beats his man. And we have another penalty coming up. We have a penalty on Mater Dei going to 4v4. 1:23 remaining on the Jennings. Penalty, 5:27 remaining in the first. 4-0 Gorman. Sorry about that, folks. Some audio disruptions here on my side. We are at 5-0 for Gorman. 4:51 remaining in the first period. Gorman wins it. Martin sends it deep. The double minor for Mater Dei. Dunnigan looking to shoot off the goalie and in. Not able to make it. Martin dangling, shot, and another one for Tyler Martin. 6-0. Gorman. .29 seconds remaining in Lars Jennings. Penalty. Still 4-on-4. 3:02 remaining in the Mater Dei penalty. Dunnigan, open ice. Looking for a lane. Cuts back. Gets tied up with the player. Player loses stick. Dunnigan looking for a pass. Not able to get it there. Puck coming back around to Tyler Martin. Tyler Martin walking the blue line. Dangles and just loses it into the neutral zone. Gorman comes back, regroups back to Matt Miller. Matt Miller dangling. Sends it in. McCauley shot off the goalie's mask. Dunnigan. Long shift. Dunny coming in for a change. McCauley sends it back to the blue line. Posner to Miller. Miller back to Liam Marsh. Mater Dei looking to clear out of the zone, not able to do so. Mater Dei sends it across the ice right in front of their crease, and it gets stopped. Close call for Mater Dei. Face off in the Gorman offensive zone. Baldy and Posner in. Gorman wins the face off. Posner, shot. Loose in front, and goalie covers. Trying to get a little bit more traffic in front of the net. Coach telling them they need to pass around a little bit more here. Davis, face-off win. Baldy sends it to McCauley. McCauley brings it back around the goal line. Shakes his man. McCauley. Posner moved up a little bit. Posner dangling around. Sends it back to McCauley. McCauley trying to find an opening passing lane. McCauley shrugs his man. Sends it over to Liam Marsh. Liam Marsh tries to get into Posner. Posner choked up for a shot. McCauley to Davis. Davis trying to get it to Marsh. Not able to connect. Mater Dei is able to regroup. 1:05 remaining in their penalty. Davis with the puck. Looking to regroup. Sends it to Posner. Posner to Baldy. Baldy chips it up to Marsh. Marsh brings it into zone. Falls to his knee, but still playing the puck. Mater Dei, nope. Marsh regains control. Dumps it back to McCauley. McCauley sends it back to Baldy. Baldy back to McCauley. McCauley looking. Baldy. Shot. Deflected. Liam Marsh trying to get in there. Davis sends it back to Posner. Posner walks the blue line. Dangles to his right. Walks it up. Davis drops back. Sends it over to Baldy. Baldy shot. And just off the goalie's pads. Not able to make it. McCauley. Shot. Off the pads. Posner sends it back to McCauley. Sorry, that was Marsh to McCauley. Posner looking for a lane shot. Goal. We are 7-0, 1:26 remaining in the first period. Modern Day full goalie. Not sure if there's a penalty. Delayed penalty. James rushing to the bench. Evan Davis regrouping, sending it over to Caden O'Hara. O'Hara sending it to Tritton. Tritton sends it to Cash Creel. Cash Creel racing down, and they're going to call that icing. Trying to figure out what the penalty is here. Coaches talking to the refs. And looks like player is ejected for Modern Day for game misconduct. Something extra after the penalty was called. Another player will serve his penalty in his place. Face off, not sure why. Face off in the neutral zone. Dunnigan wins the face off. Puck over to Tyler Martin. Tyler Martin skates across the line. Tries chipping it over. Couldn't get it there. Dunnigan battling to maintain possession. Puck back low behind the goal line. Dunnigan working along the boards. Sends it over to Marsh. Some line changes here. Schuberta, sorry. Coach is mixing it up a little bit here. Shot off the Modern Day player. Able to keep it in play. Marsh, Schuberta, and Dunnigan in forward. And that is the end of the first. At 7-0. End of the first period. 1:26 remaining in the Gorman power play. Just a quick recap of the Gorman Beach Cities game from last night. Shots on goal, 28-6. Gorman winning the game 13-0 with, and it took a while to put this together here, one from Evan Davis, one from Miller, one from Martin, two from Jennings, two from McCauley, one for Creel, one from Shea, one for Baldy, two for DC Swanson, and one for Marsh. That was a mouthful. Some more adjustments to the lines. Looks like we are going to be starting the second period. Swanson, Shea, and Liam Marsh. Evan Davis and Caden O'Hara supporting on defense. Goalies are both ready to go. And let's kick off the second period. Gorman wins the face-off. Davis, O'Hara, back to Davis. Davis chips it up. Liam Marsh. Liam Marsh looking to send it deep, not quite able to get it there. And they're going to call it offsides. And offsides. .111 remaining in the modern day penalty. It's a double minor. The misconduct and a player was ejected. Gorman winning the faceoff DC to Xavier Shea. Buying some time and space over to Caden O'Hara. Sending it over to Liam Marsh. Liam Marsh looking for a lane. Back to Evan Davis, just off the tape. And Gorman goes to regroup. O'Hara back behind the net. Looking for a lane, sends it to Swanson. And that'll be an offsides. Modern day player hitting it in from the neutral zone, and another player in the zone touching the puck. Line change here. So we have Schuberta, Frankie Subhancic, and Dunnigan here probably to wrap up the double minor penalty on modern day. Gorman wins the face-off. Frankie Subhancic sending it back to regroup over to Baldy to Posner. Dunnigan bringing it through the neutral zone. Schuberta there to support. Schuberta sending it into the middle. Posner. Sending it back. Schuberta chipping it back into the zone. Schuberta dangling, trying to grab the puck, pulling in. Dunnigan retrieving, back at the goal line, sending it back to the point. Jeff Baldy there. And pickpocketed. Posner there. Tips it out of the zone. In the neutral zone. Dunnigan in pursuit. Modern day able to send it down low. We have another penalty on modern day. Schuberta dingling around his man. Going into the zone. Could have been an offsides there. Schuberta sends it backside of the net and in 8-0. .13:01 remaining in the second period. 8-0 Gorman. Davis wins the face-off to Matt Miller, to Evan Davis. Sorry, Tyler Martin. Martin back to Matt Miller. And they're going to let that one fly. Davis in, sends it back to the point. McCauley dangling around his man. Sends it over to Davis. Davis sends it back to the blue line. Miller to Martin to Davis. And very wide of the net. You almost call it a broken pass. Marsh sends it over to Davis. Davis to the feet. And Modern Day able to get it out. Doesn't look like they may have waived the penalty. Not sure what penalty was. Gorman taking the time. Bit of a regroup. Martin. Miller to Davis. Davis sends it in. Gorman goes for a change. Full line change on the forward side. Modern Day bringing it through. Dangling. Two Gorman players there to shut it down. Back in the neutral zone. Back in. Mater Dei looking to tag up, not doing it. Got lucky. Creel bringing it through the zone. Got Johnson to his left. Passed off the Mater Dei player's skate, but still in the zone. Creel there to retrieve. Creel. Player cycling along the end there. And maintain clean passes the whole way through, and a bit of disruption, but Creel there to keep it in play. Creel sends it into the center. Cash Johnson lifting a stick. Mater Dei trying to clear it and get a change, not able to do so, but get it into the neutral zone. Long change for Mater Dei on the second period. Tritton reaching but not able to get it, but he's going to race to the puck and retrieves it before the icing call. Posner sending it back low. Creel and Johnson in pursuit. Johnson. Tritton sends it back. Posner. Sending it back in deep. Which asks the boys to cycle through. Keep moving the puck. Miller. Shot. Loose in front of the net. Just to the left of the post. Posner. Walking the line. Sending it deep. Creel. Shrugging his man down low behind the goal line. Creel kicking it up to himself. Johnson able to help get it out. Battling for the puck. Wins the battle. Mater Dei looking to break out. Held in. When Gorman wins the puck in the neutral zone. Out to Tritton. Tritton, bad bounce off the stick. Tritton sends it, trying to go deep, not able to do so. Boucher brings it back behind the goal line. Gorman going for another change. Jennings at the goal line, sending it. Boucher feeds it over to Martin, cycling around. Jennings looking for a lane. To Swanson, not able to connect for a backside goal. Martin dangling, not able to get it in off the Mater Dei player's legs. Martin sends it up, catches a man on the way through the neutral zone, and deflected back into the Gorman defensive zone. Evan Davis regrouping. Martin. Coach changing the lines on me, folks. Boucher winning the battle through the neutral zone into the offensive zone. DC sends it to Cruchet. Cruchet sending it back to Martin. Martin sending it back up to DC. DC back to Cruchet. Trying to get back to the point, unable to. Evan Davis shutting it down as it's coming through, flicks it out, and Mater Dei able to keep it in the zone. Got to be careful with the kneeing penalty. We've already had one for the season during the showcase from yours truly, son. Gorman looking to break out of zone. Puck out of the defensive zone into the neutral zone. Jennings running it in, sends it in, and Gorman goes for a full change. A lot of traffic here down in front. O'Hara sending it back deep. Schuberta there. Schuberta battling in the crease there. Ice not the best quality. There's quite the dip along the backside. Puck out to O'Hara. O'Hara. A lot of work in the center ice there. Frankie Zubancic looking for a passing lane. Trying to structure this bit like a power play. Frankie Zubancic back behind the goal line. Sending it back to Schuberta. Schuberta gets pushed off the puck. Gets up. Mater Dei sends it. Tries to clear, but puts it in front of their own net. Miller to Swanson. Swanson trying to find a passing lane. O'Hara lining up, sends it over to Dunnigan. Dunnigan from his knees trying to get a shot and goalie able to field it. A little bit of chit chat after the play, and Gorman goes for a change. 8-0, 6:29 remaining in the second period. Davis, Marsh, and McCauley in forwards. Posner and Baldy in for defense. Face off in the modern day defensive zone. Gorman wins the face off. Baldy, Posner. Posner to McCauley. McCauley to Davis. Davis dingles around, sends it back to McCauley. McCauley back to Davis, looking. Feeds it over to Marsh. Marsh chips it over. Not able to get it in. Marsh battling along. Works around his man. Sends it back to the point. Jeff Baldy. Jeff Baldy dangles around. Dangles again. Around the player. Shot over the net. Davis there to retrieve on the other side. Sends it back to Posner. Posner back to Davis. Davis gets engaged. Little extracurriculars on that one from the modern day player. Some frustration building. Modern day slings it around. Davis flicks it in. Posner working as a center through the set. Modern day working back low in the Gorman defensive zone. Posner poke checks. Poke checks. Modern day player goes down. And McCauley open. Shot. Loose shot at the 5-hole. Not able to get it in. Modern day goes to clear. And that will be an icing. Puck's going to come back. .504 remaining in the second period. Gorman wins the face-off. Martin, dangling around his man, chipping it up low into the zone. Cash Johnson sending back to Cash Tritton just off his stick. Evan Davis sending it back in deep and almost in net. Gorman with the face-off win. Martin dangling around through the center, chips it over to Cash Tritton. Cash Tritton looking for a passing lane, sends it over to Cash Johnson. Cash Johnson starting up his man, sends it back to Tritton. Tritton flips it back to Matt Miller. Matt Miller sending it back up to Cash Johnson. Johnson sending it to Tritton. Tritton shot off the goalie's pads. Creel there to grab it. Matt Miller presses up. Modern day poke checks at Tyler Martin. There to beat the man. Tritton there. Miniature zone. Modern day trying to get some traction, but Cash Johnson there to hold the line and sending it deep. Coach calling for a change. Keeping some very short shifts here. Modern day looking to break out. Stretch pass. Go to there, O'Hara. Hayden O'Hara there. Evan Davis as well. Break it up. All right. Jennings trying to pass it across. Swanson. Xavier Couchet sending it back to the point. O'Hara sending it to Evan Davis. Evan Davis to Jennings. Jennings to O'Hara. O'Hara to Couchet. Regroup. Former defensive zone. Jennings. Pass up to Swanson. Swanson walks it into the zone. Swanson sending to Couchet. Okay, back to Swanson. Swanson. And just out of reach of Caden O'Hara. Davis. Davis. And Swanson brings it in, establishing position in the zone. Jennings looking through open space. Chips it deep, back behind the line. Apologize, folks. Gilberta holding it in the zone, sending it back to Baldy. Baldy. Gilberta back at defense. Back to Foster. Just off his stick. Man happened to be there. And Gorman sends it back low in the offensive zone. Dunnigan there in pursuit. Chips it over to Frankie Zupancic. Works around his man. Cycles back to Gilberta. Gilberta. Back behind the goal line. Puck gets taken off the stick for a Mater Dei breakout. Mater Dei looking, sends it across. James Schmier able to field that one. All right. Mater Dei intercepts it on the breakout. Got to be careful for an errant pass here. Mater Dei looking to keep it back into their offensive zone. Oh, backside of the net, wide open. Gorman needs to pay attention. .111 remaining in the second period. Got to be careful. Mater Dei has 3 guys going in. You got to be careful. Third man in. Typically get it. And Gilberta sends it over to Frankie Zupancic. Buying some space. Sends it over to Matt Miller. Matt Miller sends it across. Going there. Zupancic to Davis. A little too much traffic in there. Davis sends it back to McCauley. McCauley shot off the post, regroups, pulls it off the crease. McCauley to Davis. Davis to Miller. Miller to Marsh. Miller keeping it back in his zone, sends it low. McCauley there to grab the puck. McCauley sending it to Davis. Davis back to McCauley. McCauley up, whiffs on that. McCauley chipping it deep, just out of reach of Tyler Martin. Davis there to retrieve. Sends it back to Tyler Martin. Line pass. Big no-no. McCauley dangling around, looking for an opening, and that's the end of the second period. Shot count through 2 periods, 24-5. Gorman working on some extra passing. Coach's request. Eight 0 going into the third period. Gorman wins the face-off. Cash money line. So Tritton battling along the boards. Cash Johnson able to get the puck, sends it back to the point. Martin sending it low in the zone. Cash Creel battling. Tritton there digs out the puck, dangles around his player, sends it back to Matt Miller, but picked off. Mater Dei at their feet, trying to get some kind of traction on offense, but Gorman there to regroup. Cash Creel buying some time and space. Line change Gorman. Tritton looks to dangle. Slight miscue. Tritton sends it over to Evan Davis. Evan Davis back to Cash Tritton. Sorry, folks. Cash Tritton up to Cash Creel at the legs. Hit as he tries backhanding the zone. O'Hara that holding down the line, keeping it in the neutral zone. Got fresh legs out there. Jennings, DC Swanson, and David Fouché. DC Swanson wraps around the goal. Sends it to Xavier Fouché. Fouché to Davis. Davis back to Fouché. Fouché to Swanson. Swanson working, cycling through. Back to Davis. Davis across to O'Hara. O'Hara to Jennings. Jennings looking for a clear passing lane. Doesn't take the shot. Jennings to Davis. Davis sending it back low along the boards. Pass able to almost out of the zone. Jane Jennings working along. And Mater Dei looking for a breakout. O'Hara trips. Shot over off the pads of James Schmier. Mater Dei looking for an offensive push, but Gorman's able to hold it around. Swanson chips it along the boards, and Swanson carries it in. Sorry, Jennings. Mater Dei looking for a breakout of the zone. Not passing as much as they probably should. Able to keep it in the zone. Foster in pursuit. Back behind the goal line. Frigis Pancic there to support. Chips it back over to the defender. Breakout. Gorman off Dunnigan. Hits him in the shoulder. Break things up a little bit. Dunnigan. Schuberta. Schuberta back to Posner. Back to Baldy. Baldy up to Zabancic. Zabancic looking for lane. Wasn't looking on that one. Just out of reach of Jeff Baldy. Baldy bringing it up himself. Skating around through the center. Into the zone. Backhands it. Just off net. Schuberta to Tyler Martin. Tyler Martin to Schuberta. Schuberta back to Frankie Zabancic. Zabancic to Matt Miller at the blue line. Matt Miller walks around his man. Backhands it over to Dunnigan, but not able to get there. All right. Working along the boards are McCauley, slinging it around to Frankie Zabancic. Gorman keeps it in the zone with the backhand. McCauley looking for lane. Soft shot. And not a lot of offense here by design. Coach looking them to dump and change here. Matt Miller to McCauley. McCauley back to Matt Miller. Miller to Marsh. Marsh working The neutral zone sends it deep. Forwards intentionally not putting on too much pressure at coach's request. Macaulay regroup back to defense. Defender back to Evan Davis. Davis to O'Hara. O'Hara to Colin Davis. Colin Davis walks it in. Looking for a passing lane to Macaulay. Looks like it may have been deflected. O'Hara chipping it back in. Up and out. High stick. Moderate. And they're going to stop play. Line change for Gorman. Going to bring it back into the Gorman defensive zone. Those are chiming in right now. We have a clock running now, 90 minutes remaining in the third, 8-0. Coaches requiring the players get enough passes in and not really any shots at net at coach's request to not run up the score too much. Rosner sending it up to Macaulay. Macaulay by himself sends it, chips it over at net, and needs to catch the goalie. The difficult part about games like these is to not reinforce bad habits. It's easy for the boys to, what I say, hero puck, and they kind of want to skate coast to coast. Just requiring that they adhere to normal hockey play by mandating some extra passing. Gorman with face-off win. Back to Tyler Martin. Tyler Martin to Miller. Miller back to Martin. Martin to Tritton. Tritton to Johnson. Johnson to Tritton in the center. Just off a stick. Miller able to regroup though and send it back to Kashkriel, cycling. Modern day player gets a bit of a stick on it and back in the neutral zone for a defensive regroup. Martin dangles Tritton. Tritton to Martin. Martin chips it up to just out of the reach of Creel, but Johnson there to keep it in possession. And Gorman needs to. Oh, they're going to call offsides. Timeout, Modern Day. Seven minutes remaining in the third period, 8-0. And icing Modern Day. It's going to come back into the offensive zone for Bishop Gorman. Gorman with the face-off win. Back to Caden O'Hara. Caden O'Hara sends it over to Evan Davis. Evan Davis shot off the goalie's pads. Creel sending it back over to Cash Johnson. Cash Johnson works around his man. Sends it over to Cash Tritton. And Modern Day able to get the puck. But Evan Davis there. Send it back in. Tritton shot and goal. So goals are back on the menu. Players scored earlier and apologized to coach. Line change, Jennings, Crochet, and Swanson. Miller and Martin in on defense. Jay sends it over to Swanson. Swanson with the ground, buys some space, sends it back to the point. Martin sends it back over to Jennings. Jennings to Miller. Miller to Swanson. Swanson to Martin. And going to need a bit of a defensive regroup. Just out of reach, Tyler Martin. Tyler Martin sending it to Jennings. Jennings brings it across the line and buys some space. Jennings looking. Shot. Sorry, pass across. DC Swanson not able to land that one. Back to Tyler Martin. Tyler Martin sending it back deep. Miscommunication there. Shea, Martin. Martin shot. Deflected by Jennings, but not able to land it. Jennings dangles around his man. Jennings continuing to dangle. Back to Martin. Martin walking it up. Backhands it just to the left of the net. Jennings comes in for a change. Gorman pushed off the puck, but Frankie there to hold it in. So it stays at least in the neutral zone. Swanson driving in. Shot off the goalie's pads, and Couchet there to finish. Dunnigan, Frankie Zupancic, and Schuberta in for Gorman. 4 minutes on a running clock. Refs sharing a couple words with Gorman players. It's like it's all in the up and up. 10-0 the actual score at this time. Puck's dropped. Gorman wins the face-off. Schuberta brings it around, sends it up to Frankie Zupancic. Zupancic got Dunnigan, who is left, but puck taken. Davis able to hold it in. Schuberta looking to dangle around, couldn't do it. Frankie's there to regroup down low. Schuberta just off the goalie's pads. Gorman looking to pick things up here. O'Hara chipping it up. Not too hard to avoid an icing call. And Mater Dei chips it out. O'Hara winding up. Sends it to Schuberta. Schuberta looking to chip it up, not able to do so. Evan Davis sends it and goes for a change. Marsh, McCauley, Colin Davis, Miller, and Martin on the ice. McCauley buying some time for the full line change. Spins around, looking for a lane. Looking for the passing lane. Davis sends it back to Martin. Martin sends it in off the stick. McCauley trying to flick it in, not able to get that done. McCauley dangling around. Trying to send it to Colin Davis, but not able to get it off. Marsh there to get it at the goal line. Davis still at the center. Looking for an open pass. Cycles it back through to Tyler Martin. Tyler Martin at the goal line. Backhands it. And Marsh stepping up to finish it off. 1:33 remaining in the third period. Gorman with the face-off win. Back to Baldy. Baldy chipping it up to Cashkreel. Tipped it in, and they're going to call that icing. Didn't quite make on the other side before chipping it in. Gorman with face off in their defensive zone. 11-0 now in the game. 43 seconds on the running clock. Mater Dei wins the face off. Tries to get a shot off, can't do so. Baldy battling. And Creel to Johnson. Johnson dangles around. He's got an open lane. Tries to send it back. Creel there to grab a hold of it. Johnson looking for passing lane. Sends it through the crease for Tritton. Not quite there in time. And Mater Dei sends it out. Little cross check. Puck stopped just short of an icing. And Mater Dei player flips it into the netting. 1 second, and that is game, folks. 11-0. The shot count of 34-6. Another lonely night. James in net. It's a repeat matchup of Mater Dei and Gorman from the showcase back in Vegas last month. Some slightly different players on the Mater Dei side, from what I understand. 11 skaters for Mater Dei, a very short bench. One of the contributing factors to the score we have this evening. All right, folks, that finishes our weekend. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.